On December 15, 1961, Nazi SS officer Adolf Eichmann is sentenced to death. During World War II, Eichmann helped organize Adolf Hitler's final solution, the brutal murder of 6 million Jews in the Holocaust. After the war, he escaped to Argentina and started a new life there under an assumed name, Ricardo Klement. He took a job in a Mercedes-Benz factory and was living in a home on Garibaldi Street on the outskirts of Buenos Aires. But how was Eichmann discovered and captured by Israeli authorities? And what were his famous last words before his execution? The story of his discovery began with a girl named Silvia Hermann, who began dating one of Eichmann's sons named Nicholas. Silvia's family had also left Germany after the war, but for very different reasons. Unbeknownst to her, Silvia's father, Lothar Hermann, was a half-Jewish Holocaust survivor who had been imprisoned at the Dachau concentration camp and lost his eyesight after the war. As Silvia and Nicholas's courtship progressed, Lothar began to suspect that Klement was Eichmann. He informed Fritz Bauer, a Jewish prosecutor in West Germany, who in turn informed Mossad, Israel's intelligence agency. Because Argentina had a history of denying extradition requests, Israeli Prime Minister David Ben-Gurion made the decision to secretly capture Eichmann. In 1960, 50 years after the end of World War II, Mossad covertly sent 11 agents to Argentina to apprehend him. They tracked Eichmann's movements for weeks and captured him near his home after he got off a bus returning from work. The agents transported him to Israel 11 days later on an El Al airliner. The story of his capture is well documented in an excellent 2018 movie called Operation Finale, which stars Oscar Isaac as Mossad agent Peter Malkin and Ben Kingsley as Adolf Eichmann. His trial in Jerusalem began in April 1961. Many historians credit this trial as the time where the term Holocaust and its events became firmly embedded in the public consciousness. The trial put survivors of Nazi atrocities at center stage. Eichmann testified from behind a glass booth to protect him from possible assassination. His defense followed the common claim of Nazi perpetrators that he was only following the orders of others. However, the judges concluded that he had been a key culprit in the genocide. On December 15th, he was sentenced to death. Eichmann was executed on June 1st, 1962. Among his last words was the exclamation, "Long live Germany." Here are other events that happened today in history. In 1791, Virginia becomes the 10th state to ratify the Bill of Rights, making it the law of the land. In 1890, Sioux chief and holy man Sitting Bull is killed by Indian police at the Standing Rock Reservation. In 1944, band leader Glenn Miller dies when his plane disappears over the English Channel in World War II. In 1973, the grandson of billionaire J. Paul Getty is found alive in Italy 5 months after his kidnapping. In 1993, Schindler's List, a film about a man who saved 1,000 Jews in World War II, opens in theaters. In 2001, the iconic Leaning Tower of Pisa reopens after 11 years and $27 million in repairs. In 2016, Dylan Roof is found guilty of killing 9 parishioners in the Charleston Church Massacre. And now it's time for our Today in History quiz. How many chests of tea were destroyed during the Boston Tea Party? 252, 282, 312, or 342? Liked learning about the capture and trial of Adolf Eichmann? Then you'll love this one about a failed plot to assassinate Adolf Hitler. Tap the screen to keep the story going on Today in History.